One of your kids comes home from school and says, "There's a new kid in class." Actually, the new kid has been called names because they don't know their way around. Any question the new kid has is met with criticism and they're put down. Your child describes to you actions like rolling of eyes or raising eyebrows, an exasperated huff, and maybe a whisper behind their back. The new kid is asked, "How many times do we have to tell you? Are you stupid or something? Can't you remember anything?" If you are any kind of a decent parent, what will you tell your child? That is bullying. Don't you ever let me catch you doing that, and if this continues, you need to tell a teacher. This cannot be allowed to continue. And if you find out such bullying continues in your kid's school, you'll go to the principal. You'll go to the school board. You'll demand that your school adopt a zero tolerance policy against such bullying behavior. Or perhaps you hear about a friend whose husband is belittling her. He yells at her or makes snide remarks about her if she asks for help or makes a mistake. He insinuates that she's stupid, ignoring her struggle to get everything right, and finding great joy pointing out her shortcomings. He's destroying every bit of self-esteem she has and reduces her to sobbing, self-doubting, fearful mass. We would call such behavior spousal abuse, and we tell each other that the rat should be skinned alive for treating somebody that way. But then we have to come to work. And to make it worse, we have to put up with that idiot newbie. I swear they don't teach these new graduates a thing. Do I have to hold their hands forever? Hey, I had to learn this stuff myself. She can just figure it out for herself too. Then we roll our eyes and give a self-sacrificial little and we ignore the fact that this kid looks like she's crying or is about to and is drowning in work. So what if the assignment was a little lopsided? She can just grow up or she can go somewhere else. What do we call that kind of behavior? Just another day of work in the adult world. What should we call it? How about petty, cruel, evil, hateful, and wrong? The literature is calling it horizontal violence, lateral violence, and bullying. More and more, it's also being called grounds for dismissal. A partial list of behaviors that qualify as bullying include, but are not limited to, making faces and rolling our eyes, either to the victim's face or behind the victim's back, with or without an audience. Making mean remarks, again, to their face, behind their back, with or without an audience. Cutting off the victim with an abrupt answer. It's not just what you say, it's also how you say it. But we all know that, don't we? Totally unacceptable behavior also includes refusing to help when asked, refusing to help when not asked, but it's obvious that there is a need. Bickering, backbiting, gossip, complaining, unfair and abusive work assignments, ignoring or excluding the victim from conversations, blaming them for everything. Wait, you're not rolling your eyes right now and excusing these behaviors, are you? Also unacceptable, failure to respect privacy, and withholding information that the victim needs to do their job properly. And of course, the behaviors that escalate into more overt, obvious verbal abuse, physical abuse, and even sabotage. Some of you may be asking, oh, why is this such a big deal? Well, besides the fact that it's just plain evil, it is a well-known fact that even witnessing such rude behavior as an outside observer significantly impacts our ability to think clearly. That means even seeing bullying, not being a victim, not being a perpetrator, just seeing it sets us up to miss important clues in a patient's condition, to miss orders, to miss tasks, to make med errors. Seeing bullying sets us up to hurt somebody by making us think less clearly. And that's just witnessing bullying from a distance. What about the nurse or the therapist or the physician or the tech or even the non-clinical person who has been hounded so badly that they doubt everything they do but are so afraid of making a mistake that they fail to even make a decision. Or they are so afraid to ask for help from the bullies that they just do their best on their own, but they miss something a more experienced person would have caught. The kid, or the old fogey who just needs to retire, or whoever it is you're picking on, makes a mistake, and the bully blames the person who made the mistake. All they had to do was ask. All baloney. You browbeat them into silence. You bullied them into the situation, and then you sit back and say, "See, I told you they just couldn't handle it." How dare you? There are 4 types of people in your department. There are victims. They might be a little unsure of themselves. They might not be perfect, but then again, neither are you. Then there are the instigators. These are the bullies. These are the few who seem to delight in making other people's lives miserable. These instigators, these bullies, are cruel. They are also cowards. They could also never get away with what they do if it were not for the third group of people in your unit, the passive followers. The followers don't start the bullying, they just snicker at the jab. They listen to the vicious gossip. They say nothing when the bully strikes. Why? Why would we let this go on? When confronted with that very question, most say, "I don't know, I just sort of got caught up in the moment." Often, however, if we were really honest, we would admit that it's a matter of self-preservation. Subconsciously, we figure it's better to keep quiet and go along than to make ourselves the bully's next victim. So far we have the victim, the active bully, and the passive coward. The 4th type of person we call the changer. This is the person who actually has a spine. The changer recognizes that this bullying is wrong and calls it what it is. So, which one are you? Woe to the person who does not stand up for victims, imperfect though they may be. Woe to the person who allows the bully to continue unopposed. Woe to the coward who simply keeps their head down for fear of becoming the target themselves. And, lest you think I'm picking on you and letting leaders slide, woe to the leader or the institution who allows such dastardly behavior when it is brought to their attention to continue. Woe to us all if we allow such behavior to continue one day more. And I say, woe to the bully who doesn't change their ways, because we will no longer stand for it.